Hello, everybody. I am Shay with Time to Shine, and we are working on our way through 30-day devotion of giving ourselves permission, and we are going to give ourselves permission today to be authentic. I'm going to ask you to take a moment to share so that we can have others join in on the conversation. I just like to hear other people's opinions and thoughts on this. I am just someone sharing my heart and I would love to chat and add other people's input. Um, I'm not going to lie, today I woke up just feeling horrible. That can be an issue every now and then with my chronic illness. And I already had been thinking 2 days about touching on the topic of being authentic. And then, of course, and I woke up on a morning where I'm like, I do not feel like fixing my hair. I do not feel like getting the backdrop ready or the lighting. And how perfect is that for us to just discuss being our authentic selves, being our real selves, being who we are. And so my scripture that I would love to share with you all that has just been running in my heart the last few days is Psalms 139, 13 through 14. For you have formed my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, and I know this very well. We are fearfully and wonderfully made just as we are. Itchy nose, foggy head, not feeling amazing, different. I'm so different than my husband. He is Mr. Orderly and high energy and social, and I tend to have my moments of just chaos and clutter, fog. Um, and we're both creatives, but we just do things differently. And so we are both fearfully and wonderfully made. And I was just going to share a little bit. I'm an artist. This is my art space that I am working in this morning, or planning on working in this morning. And I don't know if you could see it because this light is super bright, but a golden yellow paint. I have a Posca pen yellow. I have a chalk pen in yellow. I have a Sharpie in yellow. I have a gelato in yellow, and I have apple barrel paint in yellow. And the cool thing is all of these yellow things are great and they're greatly made. I love them, but they each have their own purpose. And this apple barrel paint will not do what my golden paint will do. My golden paint is thicker bodied. It's for the professional paintings that I do for sale. This golden paint serves its purpose, or this apple barrel paint serves its purpose. It dries quickly. It's thinner. It is great for paint nights so that we can move along in the paintings. We wouldn't want to use the thicker, heavier, slower drying paint for paint nights because it would be hard to move on. A super chalk paint. I use these to outline my paintings sometimes so that I can see what I'm painting with a drawing, and then as the paint goes over it, it just blends into the paint and you don't see the lines. Serves its purpose. But this Posca pen, I want the lines to be seen, and so I would draw them out. I would seal them so that the lines would be seen. Two different products, same color, different purpose. Created wonderfully, different purpose. My gelatos, same thing. You draw on them, you color on them, you add a little bit of water. It can make like a watercolor. It could be kind of like a pastel. It's great, but it's not permanent without being set. My Sharpie is permanent. If I put it on, it's going to stay there. Beautiful, wonderful, artsy products. All of them have a different purpose. They are all wonderfully made. And I couldn't use them for their purpose if I was trying to use them in a different way. They have their purpose. They have their authentic self. And that's just what I wanted to encourage us in our world today with social media, with images, with even in a church. You might feel like you have to put on your mask, to cover up things that you might think are ugly or socially awkward, or that was one of my biggest struggles. Is when I was the most depressed, I didn't share because I thought, well, I had to have joy. I wasn't being a good Christian if I didn't walk around enjoy all the time. And joy isn't an obligation for the Christian. It's a gift. It is I get to be joyful, not I have to be joyful. So I think it's really important to just show up and be ourselves. And if there's something, which we will talk about, transforming and renewing the mind, if there's something that needs to be changing, the Lord will address that. But just to show up and be ourselves and be authentic is the greatest gift. So I do want to share that again, this scripture. For you have formed me in my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, and I know this very well. So also, when you're struggling with being your authentic self, remember that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, and know this very well. And when you're struggling with someone else being their authentic self, I really encourage you to pray. I know I struggle with some personalities because I'm an introvert. I have some sensory processing issues. I have noise is very loud. Lights can be very too much. Crowds could be too much. I'm also an introvert. And I've struggled with others that are like my husband, that are just energy and excited and social, and noise is never too much. And I've had to learn to love his authentic self. That's who he is. There are great gifts. He draws me out. He serves his purpose in the kingdom. I serve my purpose in the kingdom. I write or I do things like this that are on a mellower scale. I do love people. I do love groups and big noisy things, but I just need to recharge. An introvert will need to recharge afterwards. It's draining to where an extrovert is actually charged by it. Dan can go do an event and come home and not be able to settle down for a good hour or two. And I come home and I'm just like staring at the wall because I am done. And he's talking and chatting and wanting to go over the event again with me. And I am just glazed over. I'm done. I have hit that mark. And so, just valuing each other for our authentic selves, um, praising the Lord that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. When there's something about ourselves that we do not like, some things we can change. I've developed habits living in a house of 3 boys and a husband. Most of them are very social and busy and ADHD. And I interrupted to be heard a lot in the household. Otherwise, I could sit for days and not say a thing and nobody would notice. And so it's developed a bad habit. That is not my authentic self. It's a bad habit that was developed, and it's something that I need to work through and to retrain and be aware that I'm doing it. So just knowing how we were created, who we were created, what our purpose is in the creation of us, that we have a wonderful purpose, a wonderful plan. Our days are known, and that we can just be our authentic selves and walk that out, whatever that may look like. I want to encourage you all to join me Wednesday, Time to Shine with Shane Anthony, Wednesday at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. This week we are having Mike Obrinsky come on and chat. He's going to chat about endurance or not giving up. We haven't ironed out the details, but I know it's going to be a great show. He's just a very powerful person, an encourager. He's just been great for us in this area, just giving Dan the shout outs. And Dan's actually had drum students because of Mike, just community mindset, wonderful person. So join me live Wednesday at 5:30 for that. And I just want to thank you all for your support. If this has encouraged you in any way, please take a moment to just share. Share. It will stay live. It will go on YouTube. So if this has blessed you, and if you want to take part in the 30 days of giving ourselves permission, I welcome you to join in on the conversation. Have a wonderful, wonderful Friday.